Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'm working with you step by step through the ABRSM Theory Grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets and you can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials. And you can also access information about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time on exam day when you're working through your exam paper. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really fab, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more to come. And now we're going to make a start on the second paper. So that's paper B of the grade 1 2014 past paper booklet. These older papers are an excellent resource and they provide valuable revision opportunity. So although the 2018 papers, the layout has changed, really the format is the same, it just looks a little bit different on the paper. You still need to know all of the relevant information. So if you turn with me to page 6, we can have a look at this together. I do hope that you've had a go of this on your own first of all, though it's really important that you just try it. It doesn't matter if you go wrong, you'll learn much more thoroughly by those mistakes. Always work in pencil. I use a mechanical pencil so it's nice and sharp, and then you can just rub out if you go wrong and you'll learn it much more thoroughly that way. So I'm hoping you've had a go of these and now we'll check through these together. So we'll start off with question 1 where we're asked to add the time signature to each of these 3 melodies. 1, 2, 3, so we're going to have 3 different time signatures, so be careful you don't presume they just continue on. And so really we can just glance through and find an easy bar that will give us the answer. And I think this bar here tells us straight away that we have 3 beats per bar. We've got a minim or a half note which is worth 2. A dot after that makes it half as long again, which is 1. 2 plus 1 equals 3. So there is only 3 beats in that bar. We can double check it. These are half a beat each, these quavers, these eighth notes. Half plus a half is 1. Half plus a half is another 1, half plus a half is another 1, 1, 2, 3. We can see there's a 1 beat there, there's a 2 beat there, 1, 2, 3. And even here we've got 1 and a half, because the dot after the note makes it half as long again. And then here's a half a beat, so those 2 half of a beat make 1. So we've got 1 beat there, 1 beat there, 1 beat there, 1, 2, 3. However, this bar or this first bars makes that really much easier to see. We got that straight away, 3/4. Let's look at the next one. Well, this bar tells us straight away we've got a whole note of semi-breve which is worth 4 beats. There's 4 beats in that bar, that's it. There's 4 beats there, we can see. Let's look at these trickier bars. We've got 1 beat here. The dot after a note makes it half as long again, so half of 1 is a half. Here we have a half a beat, which is a quaver or an eighth note. So those 2 halves give us another beat. So we've got 1 beat there, 1 beat there with the dot and the quaver. 1 beat, 1 beat, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you can see these bars are almost the same. We've got 1 beat there, 1 beat there. We've got this dotted note. There's our similarity. 1 beat there. Dot after a note makes it half as long again. With this half here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this bar are exactly the same rhythm. 1 beat there, 1 beat there, 1 beat with half a beat again, and half a beat there gives us 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. But these tell us easy peasy straight away 4/4. So you can either do the numbers 4/4, or you could use the time signature common time, which means 4/4. Let's have a look at this one. Well, I think this bar tells us most obviously we've got a half a beat and a half a beat which makes 1, a half a beat and a half a beat which makes 1. So we've got 2 beats there. Let's double check the other bars. We've got 1 beat here, and then here we've got 4/4 of a beat. Those 16th notes, those semiquavers are a quarter of a beat each, and 4/4 make a whole. So there's 1, so 1, 2. We've said 1, 2 there. So really that gives us the answer straight away in the easy peasy bars. Let's look at these though, just as a bit of practice. So here, because my maths isn't so great, I have to visualise this. So there's a whole beat divided into quarters. We've got a quaver or an 8th note, which is half a beat. The dot after it makes it half as long again. So that's a quarter of a beat, the dot, and then we've got a quarter of a beat here with the semiquaver, the 16th note, which tells me altogether we've got 1 beat there. We've got a half of a beat here, and then we've got 2/4 which make a half. So that gives us a beat there. We've got a half a beat there, 2/4 which is a half, that gives us a beat. 2 halves make 1. So we can see 1, 2, bar line, 1, 2, bar line, 1, 2, bar line, 1, 2, bar line. This bar gave it to us pretty much straight away though. Let's look at the next one. So still a bit of counting, a little bit more to do with time signatures and bar lines. This time, however, we need to add the missing bar lines. We're told there are 4 beats in a bar, and they've given us the first bar. So 2 halves are 1 beat, 2 halves are 1 beat, 1 beat, 1 beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our bar line. So let's see what happens now. We've got 2 beats here, that's our minim, our half note. We've got a 1 beat here with this crotchet or quarter note. Half as long again because of the dot. A dot makes a note longer by half as much again. So that's half of 1 is a half. And then we've got 2/4 of a beat, which together give us another half a beat. So 2, 3 plus 2 halves is 4. So there is our bar line. And then 1 beat here, 2 beats here, 1 beat here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if it was that this bar was giving you some problems, what you could do, because you've got a double bar line, you know that this is the end, you can count backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, bar line, 1, 2, 3, 4, bar line, and then that automatically sorts out this tricky bar for you. So sometimes if you get a bit stuck, come at it from the other direction and that should tidy things up. Let's look at the next question. Now this shows the first of the changes in the newly revised exam paper. From 2018 onwards, you're no longer required to complete an answering 2-bar rhythm. That's no longer on the exam paper, so there's no need for us to do that. The rest of the paper is valid, and by all means have a go of this in your music theory and practice workbook, just as a good little exercise, but for exam purposes you're no longer required to do this, and so we'll just skip on ahead and look at the next question. So then, question 3. We're asked to write the tonic triads named below, so that's one action point that we need to complete. And then we've got to also add the correct key signature for each. And so just a bit of revision here is needed to show you what to do here. So we know that G major has a key signature of F sharp, so we're in the treble clef. So every good boy deserves football. Just be careful that you place that on that top line. And then a tonic triad, of course, must begin on the tonic. So in G major, the tonic is G. That's our first. Then we've got to do the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. First, third, fifth. And it usually, when we're building a triad this way, it always forms line, 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 or space, space, space. However, if you want to be sure, you can double check. G is the first, A, B is the third, C, D is the fifth. We're looking for a G, B, D. Every good boy deserves. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, line, line, line. Job done. And so again, after a bit of revision, you'll remember that F major has B flat in the bass clef. Good boys, there's our B flat. And then we need to find note F. Now there's two places we can write this, as long as it's an F, any F will do. So you could think good boys deserve football. There's our tonic. So now we need 1, 2, we need the third, fourth and the fifth. So line, space, we need to add the ledger line, FAC, that will be correct. Alternatively, if you don't want to be using the ledger line, you can drop everything down an octave. We know that it goes good boys deserve football. So if that's a G, one below G is F. So we can use this low F, first, third, fifth, FAC, and do it that way. So either one of those will do. Let's look at the next question. So we've a few things to do here. We've got to name the key, so a little bit more revision on your key signatures and scales. And then we also need to draw brackets over each pair of notes making a semitone as shown in the first scale. So actually we've done a lot of the thinking for you here. If we're counting up the octave, 1, 2, 3 to 4, 5, 6, 7 to 8 are your semitones. That's easiest to see in the scale of C major. 1, 2, 3 to 4 is a semitone. There's nothing in between there. 5, 6, 7 to 8 is a semitone. You can see there's nothing there. If we do that in D major, 1, 2, 3 to 4, F sharp to G, 5, 6, 7 to 8, C sharp to D, you can see that that's a semitone, but there's no need to look at that really, so long as you remember, and they've actually shown you here, 3 to 4, 7 to 8. Now then the key, well, there are a couple of clues that will give us that key. Of course, the key must begin on the key note and end on the key note. So we've begun and end on D, so that tells us that we're in D something. And also we know that D major has a key signature of F sharps and C sharps, so that confirms it. So we know we're in D major. So here we're in the bass clef, we're beginning and ending on the key note. There's middle C, all cows eat grass, all cows. There's bottom C, so we're in C major. And we know that C major has no sharps and no flats. Now be careful here when you're writing your semitones, when we're showing the brackets, because now we are descending, so this is going upwards 1, 2, 3 to 4. Here we're beginning on 8 and we're coming backwards 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 8 to 7, 6, 5, 4 to 3. So that's that completed. Let's look at this next one. So our key note, we're beginning and ending on note G. We're in bass clef, G, good boys deserve, and all cows eat grass for the space at the top. So we're in G major, and we can also tell that because we've got a key signature of 1 sharp, good boys deserve football, an accidental of 1 sharp. G major has a key signature of 1 sharp, F sharps, and so that confirms that. So there are a number of ways you can just double check your answers there. So that's the end of that question. We'll look at the next question in the next video. I do hope that's helpful to you. I hope that it's helping you with your studies. These past papers are an excellent revision resource. If you can give me a like, that would be super. Please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. Please do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the resource that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.